Today, I'm applying an elbow drop out splint. This type of splint is frequently used for neurological indications where the soft tissues of the limb have contracted. I will be using a combi cast approach. This will allow the cast to have rigidity and flexibility in the appropriate areas for the indication. I would suggest using white Benecast Flex, which is the semi-rigid casting material, and coloured Benecast Select, which is rigid. This will ensure all medical professionals can identify where the rigidity is, if adaptations of the cast are required. The products required for this application include 2 pieces of Benecast stockinette 7.5 cm, 1 piece of BeneSling including the Y-tab fastener, 1 roll Undercast padding 5 cm, 2 rolls of Benecast Flex 7.5 cm, 1 roll Benecast Select or Benecast Fiberglass 7.5 cm, adhesive fleecy web or felt, and Benecare Adhesive Hook and non-adhesive loop. This application can be difficult depending on the condition of the patient. Ensure the patient is in the most appropriate position to help them relax, with good access to the limb. For the purpose of this video, we have the model in a sitting position. Before you start to apply the cast, protect the clothing with a polythene sheet or towel. Now, to assist with the application, apply the BeneSling to help support the limb during the application. This will not always be effective on severely contracted limbs. Start the application by applying 1 layer of stockinette to the limb, extending from the axilla to the wrist. I prefer to roll the stockinette into a ring for ease of application. The excess material will need to be cut or folded in the cubital fossa to prevent ridges occurring. Continue by applying a double layer of undercast padding along the posterior border, positioned between the olecranon and the epicondyle of the humerus at the elbow. This will ensure a safe removal of the cast. Now apply a second layer of stockinette as with the first. Again, ensure the excess material is cut or folded in the cubital fossa to prevent ridges occurring. For added protection, apply adhesive fleecy web or felt to vulnerable areas. I have placed 1 piece across the posterior aspect of the distal humerus to encompass the humeral epicondyles. Then a second piece around the wrist to include the ulnar styloid. Before you start to cast, apply examination gloves to protect your skin from the polyurethane resin. The setting times of the material are between 4 and 7 minutes, depending on the amount of water in the bandage. By squeezing the roll 2 or 3 times in the bucket, it will penetrate more water into the bandage and therefore provide a faster set. This is helpful for the less experienced staff or more complex applications. Using the Benecast Flex 7.5 cm dry, start to bandage at the proximal aspect, covering 50% of the previous turn. Ensure the edge of the bandage is not sitting in the cubital fossa, as this will create a ridge. Then continue bandaging to the wrist and cut off the bandage. Using the Benecast Select 7.5 cm, measure along the anterior border from the axilla to the wrist. Now make a 4-layer slab. For the second slab, measure across the cubital fossa, encompassing the humeral epicondyles. Round the edges on each end of both slabs. Dependent on the complexity of the patient and the experience of the clinicians, the slabs may be applied dry or wet to ensure suitable working times for the indication. Continue by positioning the long slab along the anterior border with a minimum of 1 cm from the end of the cast. Now position the second slab across the cubital fossa. Ensure there are no ridges or wrinkles in the cast. Continue by applying the second layer of Benecast Flex as with the first layer, covering 50% of the previous turn, and then cut the bandage. Now position 4 pieces of adhesive hook to the cast on the anterior border, 2 at the proximal and 2 at the distal aspect. Secure with the wet Benecast crepe bandage during the application. Applying the adhesive hook at this stage will ensure good adhesion to the cast. This is due to the adhesive laminating to the polyurethane resin of the casting material. Mold the cast well to ensure it conforms to the contours of the limb, in addition to the adhesive hook creating an excellent bond to the cast. After the initial set period, which is between 4 and 7 minutes, remove the bandage. Now, to ensure safe removal, draw a line along the posterior border. And then, for the dropout aspect, draw across the tip of the olecranon and up the medial border of the cast. Now, to remove the cast, use bandage scissors. You can start to cut at either end, depending on your preference. Cut the posterior guideline only at this stage. Ensure the scissors are parallel to the limb and are between the layer of padding and the second layer of stockinette, which is now integral to the cast. Remove the strip of padding and then gently remove the cast from the limb. Now trim the cast. Follow the previously drawn guideline for the dropout section . and then continue along the forearm to take out 1 centimeter. This will ensure good compression of the soft tissues of the forearm and will prevent migration of the cast. Now trim the cast at the distal aspect of the wrist. Dependent on the integrity of the soft tissue, use either a fleecy or elasticated edging tape. I am using an elasticated one. Start at one end of the cast. Secure the tape on the outer side and fold, ensuring no wrinkles or ridges develop. Continue to cover all edges of the cast. Before applying to the limb, position the opposing non-adhesive loop to complete the fastening system. For comfort and to protect the integrity of the patient's skin, fleecy web can be applied to the non-adhesive hook and positioned to fit directly on the skin of the dropout section. To reapply the splint, fold the ends of the stockinette over to create a nice even edge. Then pull the cast apart at the elbow and slide gently onto the arm. Secure with the hook and loop straps, wrap circumferentially around the limb. To use the dropout functional aspect of the splint, open the 2 straps on the proximal aspect. This will now allow the elbow to be extended without losing the position that has previously been achieved. After mobilizing the elbow, secure the splint using the hook and loop securely, and then reposition the limb using the BeneSling. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube to see all our latest products, videos and competitions. If you require more information on our products and training, please visit our website, benecaremedical.com.